Stopped at Pine Bluffs, so rest stop here. And it's really up above all the flats. It's literally like little bluffs, buttes. And it's got a little archaeological site. So I imagine that this perfect little dish, we're basically up from the flatlands below, and this terrain that you're seeing just drops straight off into all the flats that you see below. And then this is like a sheltered little dish that would have sat up here with looks like stream coming through it up above the whole thing. And yeah, this was the building that was down the road. So, and it looks like, hey, nice, it stairs up, but it looks like this way there's pretty much a paved trail running out, and then this way is dirt, nature trail. Just a quick stop, but you can see the terrain. Be a nice place to camp out on your way across. There's the big river wandering all through that, and then you can see other bluffs and buttes on the other side. This is just called Pine Buttes, and you can see why, because all the pines. And as you're coming across the flats and you get up to it, it's very like a miniature plateau with trees all over it. And even before I saw the signs, I was like, yeah, there's a spot. But it obviously is already well known, and yeah. The area's distinctive pine bluffs are a result of early geologic activity followed by millions of years of weathering. At the top of the bluffs is an erosion-resistant layer of sandstone and claystone called cap rock. As rain and wind erode the softer clay beneath, the cap rock sections of the top layer collapse and tumble down the cliff face. So this map is representing all these different colored lines. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different colored lines. So you have the immigrant trails, you have the transcontinental mail route, you have transcontinental telephone line, you have Lincoln Highway, you have the transcontinental railroad, overland stage route, transcontinental telegraph, and the Pony Express all ran through this. You can see all their lines paralleling through here. So, and this is basically the biggest chunk of geology sticking up along the way, and has natural shade and resources. So not just a rest stop. And we're about 1,100 something miles from San Francisco, so that's nothing. It's an easy coast downhill. Was a couple of rocky mountains and stuff in between, but and Sierras, I guess. We should see. Might as well, right? Got a chance. Cool. Looks like flax. Man, that's some of the best natural cordage that you're gonna find. This little plant. Yeah. You soak that in water and it's as fine as agave strand. Stronger. Like your sections where it's rotting away, so you soak that in the creek and then strip it out. It's not the flax for which linen is named and formed from, or linoleum, or linseed oil. And that's a little flower. But it was named flax because it had the same strand, fiber, cordage qualities. You see the flats below and how this rises up. The trail's going all up on it. You would have had a natural view, and remember that these zones would have been full of the bison and you know, buffalo land out there. And you're looking down on what I believe is the Platte. Let's look at this from an aerial view with Google, and you can see you're at the edge of all this big zone, and this is really just a cool spot above it all, and a little dish in between. Ooh, caves. There's a spot. Bet you we're not the first people to climb up this hill above the first thing of trees here. And look out. And then it keeps going up. Oh heck. Wanderlust to always get you around the next corner into the top. Oh look, it's a flat. So I'm so out of breath. But yeah, perfect flat camps at the top. Up above it all. And these guys in seed, they're plentiful as a hollyhock, but look like beetles that bore right down through them. Okay. Well, look for fresher. Woo! Yeah. Quick ascent. Not 400 feet, but straight up. Nice camp though on the top. This just literally goes over, drops down straight white edge cliffs, and you are looking out towards the flat area that is flat prairie and would have had bison and everything on it until you literally go through the gap to get to Salt Lake. And you saw all the routes. So this is just prime zone. We're actually above the archaeological building site on the other side here. Woo! Little hornet buzzing me, letting me know we shouldn't be here. So this is the ledge right on the front. So hunters would have sat here looking down on these rivers and all. Look how far you can see. Like I say, This just curves around the front here, and this wide expanse you're seeing stretches out forever. There's the flat bluff that we're on top. It's got a straight edge on that side. It just comes around, and we're on top of this. So anybody that ever wanted to fix their location has climbed up to this point for sure and looked out right here. There you go. And there's the dish of a little camp in between, looking out on the whole thing. Yeah. Try not to slide off the edge here. Spike. Yep. A lot of people have planted their butt right here, like this, and sat looking out. Ow! And then this trail comes from where you saw it and goes over to the building. It says Archaeological site. It's on the front of this and faces out, and you can see both directions, and it's up on a little ledge. So that was probably a camp that was so thick with remnants and artifacts. I'm just assuming that that's why the building's there, but you know that this ground has been stood on by everybody. Yeah, here's a view. There is the east out to New Jersey, literally. And there is the west out to San Francisco, Seattle, whatever you pick, literally. And there's the route. The railroad in the background. Every town has a silo. They gather their stuff, they bring it to the silo, the train hauls it, the trucks haul it, the people hauled it, and before that the animals and human beings walked it. Let's go down under this and see what kind of cave we're standing on here. This stuff, when you see rock that can crumble from your own force, you know it's brittle, okay? That's what we were on. My God, I'm glad it didn't break on us and kill us. Look at that. That's nuts. So that's what you can be standing on, and it could just be totally waiting to dump you. But look at this shelter. It's not much of a shelter, but come on. I'm sure on this hillside there's plenty of little caves you can get out of the rain and stuff. And this eroded through time. Oh, these were a formation. Some sort of Egyptian formation that's being left over here. See them? They're like little desert roses or something, but they're not. They're something else. Those are really cute. Wonder how hard they are. But you can see them sticking out of here everywhere. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah. That's the capstone. Okay, we better head back down. What are you? Oh, broken piece of the 90s. Okay, we better head back down. This is Pine Bluffs rest stop. It's a detail. We've gathered it. Let's go get some rocks. So this is the main area region where the great buffalo and bison herds of California of the United States would have moved through, going north and south in their migrations. In that area where we just were, you can see sticks up above this land dramatically. So no matter who you were, it would have been the high point you were trying to get to. Looks like the ground is made out of kind of like a mica mix, so lots of, or a granite mix. So it's got lots of feldspar in it. We're at high altitude, so it's the top of the mountain, so there won't be any dirt here because the dirt all washes away from the highest parts of the world, and so all the plants will be in their lowest form. And that's why they're all minuscule and compact when you're up at the top of places. But yeah, looks like it is a granite. You could call it a granite. Heavy on the large feldspar crystals. And let's go see what the thing says. Looks like they have it strapped together there with a cable so it doesn't crumble anymore. It's got a tree growing out of it, and it's got magnolia tops on the old fence surrounding it. This tree was growing out of a crevice in the rock when the Union Pacific Railroad built its original main line 50 feet south of this rock in 1868. The fence and cable were provided by the Union Pacific Railroad Company at the request of the Historical Landmark Commission of Wyoming. Yeah, because it will just continue to crumble away as granite does. And you can see it's got really big crystals in there of the feldspar. That's the ones that look like this that are reflecting back at you. And pieces of quartz. And then usually one or two others making up the granite mix. And that's what those mountains there that you see in the distance. So like at the top of the Sierras or anywhere else that has a giant granite core, you can see the bones sticking out here. So the whole world washes away to the north and the south and the east and the west. And we're at 8,000 feet. And so there's mostly rocks left. So great chance to observe the minerals. We're about to go into the region of the United States that I love the most for minerals. Not because of the abundance of any one thing, but because of the lack of vegetation. And where you have lack of vegetation, you can see all the rocks. And when you can see the rocks, there's a lot more discoveries that can be made, obviously, because you have more chances of looking through more stuff. the individual crystal sand. That's what all this is. It's just the decomposing granite all the way out. The Sherman Mountains. The Sherman Mountains are erosional remnants rising above the general level of the surface of the Laramie Range. The flat-topped characteristic of the range resulted from the beveling during an ancient erosional cycle. Bedrock here is granite, a crystalline rock made up of pink feldspar, glassy quartz, black mica, and hornblende, which originated deep in the Earth's crust over 1 billion years ago. The peculiar rock forms of the Sherman Mountains are controlled by 3 sets of joints, or planes of weakness, cutting the granite and dividing it into large blocks. Weathering has rounded the corners and has enlarged the joint planes, resulting in irregular blocky rock masses, many of which are capped by balanced rocks. This is what the sign says. Oh, it's got some lean to it. They're trying to hold it up. And looks like first one, and then second one. Crazy. When they had money to buy some lumber. But it looks like first they just stacked rocks. Actually, that was first. The white part was after they got fancier because it's got outside stuff, even though it's super small. That first little structure, unless it's a smokehouse, but it actually has some little windows that would have had glass in them. And it's got a little stovepipe coming out of there, and it might have had a little bed inside there. When I've been at little teeny tiny towns, sometimes they're that big, and they will have dug down in the ground, you know. I bet you it was here before the highway looked like that. This was their view. We are crossing the Continental Divide right now. Back west. 7,000 feet. What do you think, Wanderer? Continental Divide. We're trying to make our way across Wyoming here. And we have big weather system blowing in from the Rockies out across the plains over onto us. We might get some showers. It's definitely chilly. You can feel the ice and the wind. You can see it sprinkling off in the distance. We're trying to look for some food, maybe check out Green River for some fossils. And pretty tired today, honestly. So we'll see what we get up to. There, where we just came from, out across all that. Wow, and the wind is blowing. Rough and tumble. Black steps all through here, and then different colors are really pretty. Red, looks like basically quartzites. So is that. The white and the blue and the gray. returned to Little America. We have rented a room and we have the pillared room at the front of the big house. You see there's only these pillars and then one in each lodge. You got the room of honor. Good job.